Hello. Oh, let's turn this down a little bit here. All right. So the reason we're using the microphones is not necessarily for everybody in here to hear us. It is for the people that are on the live stream to hear us, and for the audio for us to have later. So first of all, I want to say thank you for coming out. I do appreciate it. I recognize most of you here. Some of you have actually heard this before, so thank you for still supporting us and coming out. We threw this together pretty quickly, so we are missing some of the basics like pens and paper for you, so you can totally leave a review about that later. But also, we do have beer because we're at a brewery, so please grab a beer if you'd like one. And there are tacos over here as well.
The beer, when you go up there and order a beer, the first beer's on us. Just say Jake, Barrel Room, Good Life Group, whatever you want to say.
Artist Point.
Points.
Yeah, it's Point.
The guy over there, the big guys, they paid for this. So
yeah,
go ahead and do that for the first beer.
Or second. It's okay. There's not a bunch of us. Yeah.
I know I'll be going for a second.
Yes. 3 or 4. We have to sign a waiver.
So for a couple quick housekeeping things right off the bat, we will be doing this every Tuesday going forward. Not every Tuesday. Every first Tuesday of the month. There's a few Tuesdays in there where we're going to flip it to the second Tuesday. You will know that in advance because there's scheduling conflicts.
Like 4th of July and stuff like that.
Yeah, 4th of July. We've got one in March we're moving as well, but we'll get those out to you guys as well. The reason we're doing this, a couple of things. One, we just wanted to bring some value, some different things, on different weeks.
You got to be closer, Jake.
I can't even podcast right. So different things of value every time we're here. Today we're going to be talking about some prospecting, active versus passive.
We just lined up our next month speaker, and she is amazing. She is a health and wellness coach. She used to be a lawyer, very successful, Christian role. She left her practice. And some of you, if you don't know who she is, she's just going to bring value to your lives as a person, not necessarily any sales skills, but it's still something that's incredibly important.
Sorry. Correct. No, you're fine. Don't worry about it. So we just want to bring some value to the community. We noticed we started kind of brainstorming this idea a few weeks ago, and we noticed right off the bat there's a real gaping hole right now in the marketplace for people who want to get together in person and just be out with people in the business, in the community, and just get out and about and get out of your house for a while and do something different. So we really wanted to fill that void, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to continue to do this, get people running around and seeing us and seeing each other and putting minds together.
Absolutely. And with that being said, there are a bunch of people online, so if they have questions, we do have people monitoring, so please ask the questions. We'll be sending this out, recording as well. And for you guys here in the room, if we're talking about something and you have a question and you want to go deeper, this is a time for that to happen, to ask specific questions about how this might benefit you or a specific scenario. Now, if it tends to get in the weeds a little bit, I say, hey, let's take this offline. We're going to be here for a long time after this. There's some beer to drink, and we'll be hanging out, answering any questions, maybe specific about your personal business. But we want this to be an interaction as much as possible and not just two guys up here just chit-chatting the entire time.
Although we can do that too.
Yes, absolutely. Don't threaten me with a good time. So I'm going to take a quick sip here, and then we're going to dive right in.
Yeah, I'll do that too.
Social. No, don't make it weird. That's my job. All right. So what we're going to learn from the presentation today that I just said wasn't a presentation. So I'm going to tell you what I'm going to tell you. We're going to talk about active and passive prospecting, and we're going to talk about what those mean to us as our team. And we're also going to talk about how to use social media in a more active prospecting way. Don't worry, we're going to dive more into that in as much depth as you want or don't want. Okay, the classy photo of me. This is a good one. I like it. Thank you, Heather. This is actually if you come to my house, this is typically, I am not exaggerating, what I am going to be wearing. Wool socks. Sarah, you love it? You love it? Yeah, you married this guy. All right. Who am I? I'm team lead of a Good Life group. We have been together for 4 years. There are now 18 of us. So that's pretty sweet. We have a podcast, Life Behind the Highlight Reel. This year I was elected to MAR Board of Directors, so I'm super stoked about that and get to serve with some pretty cool people. 2021 Torchbearer for you guys who are Remax people. That means I was 40 under 40 for our region 2 years in a row. I aged out this year. I'm no longer under 40. Thank you for your sympathy. I hate Jordan. Jordan is my personal trainer. He beats me up every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. If for some reason you want to know more about that, I document that on TikTok, and I think I'm hilarious. Cords, careful, guys. If I fall, it's totally awesome. I do love the White Claws. They are pretty fantastic. They are, and I do not, but I don't like the new variety pack. We could talk about this more, but I do like the grapefruit quite a bit.
I was going to guess grapefruit.
Yeah, grapefruit. Thank you. And I am a social media whore or entrepreneur or whatever you want to call it, but I absolutely love social media. More than sleep, we actually say in some of our advertising, and it's kind of true. All right, Mr. Bjorneberg.
I actually had the exact same outfit on that Will had in my previous photo, and it didn't work, so we couldn't repeat it. So we went with my selfie.
Who wore it better?
We've done that before in bathtubs. I am Jake Bjorneberg. I am the director of sales for a Good Life Group. Will wants me to keep it moving. I do have 20 years sales experience, mostly in the tech space, outside sales, all kinds of different things like that. Won multiple awards through that. I love to travel. My wife and I, every chance we get, we travel somewhere. Typically, it has a beach. And I can hold a conversation with just about anybody. My wife really loves it when we walk through Cub Foods or Home Depot, and I try to strike up conversations with people because I feel like they need me in their life. Which they do. They just didn't know it when they walked into Home Depot.
He is a wooer if you're a Strength Fighters fan. All right, we'll keep moving along here. Why real estate? So this is also a really good photo. This is a framer. If you know what that is, this should be in a frame somewhere. I got into real estate because my wife told me so. That's not an exaggeration. 7.5 years ago, we were looking to buy our own home. Excuse me, I had a beer. And we left this one property, and she goes, you need to get into real estate because the experiences we were having at that time were not where we wanted. So that's how I got into real estate. Sarah told me so. How about you?
I have a little bit more of a story than you, I guess. My wife didn't just say go into real estate. Mine goes way back to Best Buy days. I used to sell home theater equipment to people, and one of my favorite joys in doing that was knowing that when they went home for the next 3 to 5 years, them and their family were going to be sitting in front of that TV, making memories and doing their thing, watching football games, whatever. I watch football games, so I assume that's what everybody else does. So just the idea of what that brought to that family was cool to me. Got it again. So I thought, what better way to affect somebody's life than help them with the biggest decision of their life, the most financial impacting decision of their life, and think about the way that will affect them over a silly home theater set. I thought that was kind of a cool way to do it, so that's what I did.
If you couldn't tell, if you're a disc personality profile type person, I am a high D. I am direct to the point. I don't tell stories. I'm not about the warm and fuzzies. Jake is the exact opposite.
I'm emotional.
I said my wife told me
Sometimes I cry.
And he told this great story about why he does it because he loves TVs and helping people create memories. It works really well. It does. So that just shows you that you're going to get this type of content from both of our views. And just to be very honest with everybody, if he doesn't agree with me on something, or if he has a question about what I'm saying or vice versa, he will ask me, and we will have that discussion right here with you guys, because it's not a one size fits all answer to everything, but this is just how we do it within our team.
Yeah, one of the things that I noticed a long time ago in real estate, I've said it for probably 4 years straight, is there's a spot here for everybody. That's what's so cool about real estate. No matter what personality you are, everybody has their sphere and the people that they connect with, and there's a spot for everybody, and I think that's pretty cool.
The woo. Okay, a little bit about me and why you should why we're up here. Sarah and I have sold just over about $100 million in real estate since we've started. This year we're going to finish at 26.7 personally, and 100% of our businesses is fear and referral. But we built this business on active prospecting. Voted third best, bronze winner, so we have room for improvement there, by Minnesota's Best. But that's the Pioneer Press, right? Or is it the Star Tribune? The Star Tribune. So that's pretty cool. Board of directors again, and our podcast, which we're pretty proud of, because we don't talk a lot about real estate. We talk about life behind the highlight reel. You know, we all tend to put guilty as well, all the cool, fun stuff on social media. And when we get into our podcast, we talk about the actual nuts and bolts and what's going on in lives behind it. So it's pretty cool. All right, we're going to jump right into this here. We have two types of prospecting we're going to talk about specifically here, active and passive. And if I remember correctly, Yep. So types of active prospecting just off the bat, we have door knocking, calling, and something that's a direct outreach. A passive form of prospecting is mailers, social media, and open houses and events. And we're going to dive into all of these here individually. This is just to kind of outline a little bit of what those are. What is active prospecting?
What is active prospecting?
Good question, Jake. Thank you for asking. If you order now, you get 2 for the price of 1. Active prospecting is something where you control the amount of at-bats that you have. That is where you're directly reaching out to a person and soliciting them for business. That means you have to call somebody, you have to knock on somebody's door, you have to be the one to initiate contact.
Yeah, some of the types of active prospecting. Circle prospecting, hybrid farming, dominating an area. This can come off of a few different things. Kind of ties into the next one of circle prospecting just listed. So circle.
I think we dive into each one here. Yep, cool.
Yeah, so, okay. Circle prospecting, a missed buyer opportunity, matchmaking. I'm not sure if anybody ever heard of matchmaking in real estate, but that was a big thing for us when COVID was going on, when you couldn't find a home, and you had a lot of buyers missing opportunities.
When it first started.
And then FISBO, cancels, and expireds, everybody's favorites.
Yay.
We dive into those too. Those are very fruitful for a lot of people.
All right. So for circle prospecting, hybrid farming, aka dominating an area, this doesn't have to be as expansive as picking a city and doing every door direct to them. When we actually pick a farm, when we pick a hybrid farming dominating area, it's actually smaller, and we typically go to townhomes. You want to pick between 50 and 200 homes. Typically, you want to get up to 200, but start with 25 or start with 50. Don't make it seem unmanageable. And what you're going to do to those 50 to 200 homes is you are going to become their best friends, whether they like it or not, over the next 12 months. This is a 12-month commitment. 12 months, not.
I see certain people shaking their heads saying, God, yeah, it is a 12
month. This is not a one and done thing. If you're looking for a one and done thing, we're going to talk about FISBOs and stuff like that later. That's more of a hit it and quit it type thing. No problem. This is the long game. This is where you're going to become like a Jonah Flores, who's on our team, and I'm going to brag on her because she's not here, who is NARS 30 under 30 this year. She has a 43% market share of a 200-plus townhome development down in Inver Grove Heights. The average price point when we started there was $160. We've now got it up to over $240 because she sold a majority of the properties that have sold in there. The reason she started with a townhome is because typically they're first-time home sellers. They're going to be much more receptive to somebody new coming into their lives and talking about real estate versus like your 2 or 3 time move-up buyers where they hopefully have an agent that they've worked with quite a bit in their respect. Also with townhomes, what's nice about it is once you learn the development and once you get into enough of them, you're going to know the layouts. There's not a huge variety of layouts when we go into a townhome development area. It's going to be an interior unit or an exterior or an end unit. It's going to be the 3-bedroom with 2 bathrooms, or it's going to be the 3 bedrooms with 1 bathroom in the unfinished basement. So once you learn those areas and learn that, it becomes a very easy and soft target. And what you're going to be doing with them is you're going to be calling them, you're going to be door knocking them, you're going to be doing flyers, you're going to be doing handwritten notes, you're going to be doing open houses. And we'll talk more about this in a little bit here, but it's a multi-touch approach that is very effective. It is not a slow game, but it is the long game. And it's how you're going to build your business in a scalable, repeatable way. Go ahead.
All right. So when you're circle prospecting just listed properties, you're going to start with 50 to 100 homes. Sometimes it's easy to do 50 one week, add 50 the next week, and continue to grow it. Sometimes they grow up to 200. Sometimes we leave it at 100, depending on what's going on in that neighborhood or how big the neighborhood is. You're going to call them multiple times. Every time something happens with that home for sale, you're going to let everybody in the area know.
So what do you mean by that, Jake?
So we have coming soon, goes on the MLS. Give them a call. Let them know if the house in the neighborhood's coming to the market. Just listed. Okay, now it's on the market. Let's give them a call again. Let them know it's on the market now. You're going to see some added traffic. There's going to be more showings. There's going to be open houses, all kinds of different things like that. When the house goes under contract, hey, the house is under contract. We actually had multiple offers. Hey, by the way, do you know if anybody in the neighborhood is looking to sell as well? Because we've got all kinds of people looking here, but only one of those people won. You go through inspection process, we move to pending. Give them a call again. Hey, yep, we're actually pending now. We're just waiting for close. Oh, hey, what did it sell for? Well, I can't tell you yet. I'll call you once it closes, let you know. That tees up the next call. Just closed. Hey, it just sold. We sold it for 20% over list price with very good terms. Again, like I said, there's a lot of people looking in the neighborhood. Are you curious what that sale might have done to the value of your home and your equity? Great way to ask for an actual appointment there.
So, go ahead. So the question was, have we ever mailed marketing materials to the people that's as an actual touch point?
And shame on us for not actually bringing that up right off the bat.
And, well, yes and no. So I repeated it already. You were on your phone.
Oh,
gotcha.
Shots fired.
Yeah. And I need to ride home. So yes and no. Now, we all have those listings that will be coming up, and they're coming soon for 5, 10, 12 days in the MLS. If we have that opportunity and that time, yes, we can mail them some type of piece, but we typically don't. We are more fans of the 7 levels of communication style. It's a book. It's fantastic if you haven't reached it. Where a random mailer is the least ineffective way to reach somebody, and then showing up and talking somebody face-to-face is the most effective way to have an ask. So short answer, no, but every phone call we have that we place, whether it's a voicemail, no voicemail, or a conversation, even if it's they hang up on us, they get a handwritten note.
Always a handwritten note. We also do door hangers. So coming soon door hangers. We got come see us at the open house door hangers, that sort of stuff with all that stuff written on it. So we do that.
We try and do that for every listing. Your farming market is a non-negotiable. Otherwise, you're wasting your time.
And when it's your own listing, it's a good time to create another farm. So if you've got 100 people you're calling in one farm, why not have another 100 people in the next farm? More touches, more sales.
Any other questions on that? Good questions. Thank you. All right. So one of the really nice touches that we like is on the day of the open house, or right before the open house, I just want to let you know, hey, just so you know, we're actually having an open house at your neighbor's house between 12 and 2. And if somebody parks in front of your mailbox, give me a call and I'll make sure to get that moved right away for you. Just want you to know there's going to be more traffic in the neighborhood. So any issues you rise, just give me a call. So that's a really cool thing, because now they feel that they know somebody. And if something does go wrong, it doesn't, but they're going to call you. Hopefully it just, everything goes very smoothly. All right. So then when we call them when an offer is accepted, now Jake said something there that I thought was pretty interesting. He said, we sold for 20% above list price. Now, a lot of you are guilty of this, and I was at one point as well. On the social media, I'll switch gears for a second, but we'll come right back to this, is when you say just sold, like, oh, I just sold this bad boy in 7 hours for $43,000 over listing and 97 million offers. You just devalued what you actually did the 20 or 30 hours before you actually brought that property to market. So when we do these posts, or when we're making these phone calls, we're going to say, we actually sold the property 4 times faster than the market average. And, we had 9 offers, because you can't really, just make that up, or say just under a dozen, but people we had 9 offers, which means 8 people didn't get the home they want. And we actually sold for 23% above list. The reason we say 23% above list is because you're going to think your home is worth way more than your neighbor's who's identical, and you're going to extrapolate that 23% to the number in your head. I don't want to do that math for you. I want you to be able to do that math. And if somebody sees that who has a $500,000 home, and I tell them that I sold this other one for 23% above list, they're stoked, because they're doing the math in their head now. They're like, oh my gosh, that's over $100,000 that they could get for my house over list. Not true. But let them do the math. Let them get excited. Don't tell them. Give them the information. All right. And then when we close, this is the first time we're really, and by the way, these are all scripts that we didn't create. Like, if you want them, I'll give them to you. We stole them from somebody else. When the home sells, that's the first time we're actually having an ask. That's where, would you be interested in knowing how this sale affects your home's value? I'm not asking if you want to sell. I'm asking you, may I please provide you information that's going to be beneficial to you down the road if you decide to make a financial decision on moving or selling? Oh, that makes sense? Cool.
What you got?
Yes. Yes, that's when we ask if they know any of their neighbors in the area that are looking to sell. So we're very specific that we're not asking them directly if they want to sell. We're asking them, hey, do you know of any of your neighbors that want to sell? I don't, but I was curious about what my home. Okay, then they open the door. So it's a lot easier to say, yeah, Frank across the street was talking about selling than it is to say, oh, do I want to invite this person into my house that I've talked to only twice now?
Yeah, keep the pressure off of them. Let them put it on themselves.
So go ahead, Jake. I've been talking a lot.
Yeah, you have talked a lot. Missed buyer opportunity and matchmaking. So this is basically coming back to what we just talked about. The missed buyer is, we had 9 offers, only 1 got the offer. You've got 8 people looking to come into the neighborhood. Do you know anybody looking to sell? The matchmaking side of things is where things get kind of cool. We've been using townhomes. There's a lot of house communities that have kind of detached townhomes or detached homes that they're all kind of the same, and you know what they look like. So your client falls in love with something, and we've had this happen multiple times.
You have the buyer on this one.
Yeah, so we have a buyer. We came in second place on the listing, on the purchase agreement. We didn't get the house, but we know the entire neighborhood looks exactly the same, and they want to live in that neighborhood because they love that house. That's a real easy segue to literally go door to door or call everybody and say, hey, we came in second place on this. We have a really aggressive offer. I have an offer in hand that basically matches your home. Would you be interested in seeing it? Real simple.
And it's not BS. It's not like, oh, I might have a buyer. It's like, no, here's the PA. I just have to change the address to your name, and if they like the house, we will buy it. And it works, and it's really powerful when you can say, here is my buyer. They tried to buy your neighbor's house. We actually went 17% over list. We were aggressive.
The best part about that too is now you're representing the buyer, you're going to represent the seller, and there's a good chance you're going to represent that seller on their next buy as well. So now you went from just having a buyer to a triple-ended deal, and that's how you make exponential money really quickly.
Very cool. Yes, please. So the question was, do we ever, that's a commission question, so we can talk about that offline. Yeah, it was a question. I'll repeat the question, and I'll answer this to anybody. The question was, have we ever got somebody to say, oh yeah, I would absolutely want to buy, I'll absolutely sell my house, but I don't want to pay you. Short answer is no, and I can talk about how we discussed that in those situations. Not trying to skirt anything. Just this is out on the internet. We got to be careful. All right, this is everybody's favorite one: for sale by owners, canceled and expireds.
So on, let's see here, on for sale by owners, these are quick calls. They're not long 12-month interactions. They're going to be 3 to 5 touch points very quickly, back to back to back, and see what happens. And if it doesn't work out, you move on to the next one. So on a FSBO, there's certain times of the week to call them, and certain times of the week you definitely should not call them. So FSBOs already don't like agents to begin with. They always want to see what's going to happen on the next weekend. So we call for sale by owners on Mondays. The reason we call them on Mondays is because they just got through the weekend. Did you run an open house? Did you have showings? How did it go? Oh, by the way, if the house hasn't sold, it's been 14 days now, when are you looking to hire an agent? Because eventually they typically will. So the reason Mondays is because if you start calling on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, they're excited for the weekend, and they've done their whole new strategy on how they're going to sell their house this weekend, and they want to see how the weekend goes, and then they're going to ask you to call them back on Monday anyway. So just skip the first call. Save yourself the time. Call them on Monday. How was the weekend? How'd it go? Are you looking to hire an agent yet?
And they're going to say no. They're like, no, I'm going to do this on myself. I'm going to save the fees. Excellent. Awesome. I understand. If I was in that situation, I'd want to save the fees too. Let me ask you a question. How'd you come to the pricing of your home? It's a great question.
If you sell your house, where are you going?
Yeah, when the home sells, where are you going? What brings you there? So there's a lot of questions you can ask that are not saying, hey, I want to sell your home, but it's starting to paint the picture. Had the home sold, where are you going? We use white pages, we use Redx, we use Remind, and we actually have a page on the very end here that lists all of our resources. That we're going to show you every single paid resource and free resource that we use to do all of this. Great question, because data scrubbing is, I'll talk about this first. So the data scrubbing side of things is where, when you're building a farm, when you're building a long-term prospecting campaign, you are going to spend a lot of time creating that database. A lot. It's going to take you 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, legit straight work to come up with 50 to 75 of these actual contacts. So this is not a one and done thing. You're doing this for the future. You're doing this to call them every single time anything happens in that area. So you are going to spend time scrubbing data. There's no way around it. This is not a I'm going to do this tomorrow type thing. It's I'm going to start doing the data part of this tomorrow, and I'm an agent, so I'm going to look here, there, and everywhere, and I'll get to it, and it'll be done in a week or so. But it does take time to get that data to a place where it is manageable.
And to touch on the expireds and cancels really quickly, you call those in the day that they expire, the day they cancel, and hit them 3 times a day, a couple days in a row. Are you looking to relist? Are you looking to use a new agent? Real simple. You're going to get a lot of no's there. You're just hoping that you are the one that called them when they aren't too upset, because they're going to be upset when you call them. That's how it goes. So that one's really a timing thing, but you're going to call them off the hook for a couple days straight until you talk to them and make them tell you no. If they tell you no, you move on, because they're just quick. The next day there's going to be 200 more of them.
So with the for sale by owners, canceled and expired, the FSBOs, the for sales, those you want to give those a couple weeks. You're going to take probably 2-3 weeks after that. You're going to kind of be done with them. For your cancels and expireds, it is more of an aggressive campaign, and it's not everybody's taste. It's not everybody's style, but it is more of luck of the draw when they answer the phone, if they're willing to have that conversation or not. And for people who are bad at follow up, this is a great source of business. It's the absolute truth. If you do not want to use a CRM, if you do not want to actually take notes, if you do not want to try and remember what was said, just pound these all day long. And even in this market, they are churning. What is passive prospecting? Passive prospecting is something a lot of us love to do. We love to brag about it and love to say, look how great I am. But it's where you're hoping somebody responds to something that you put out into the universe. Putting a sign in the yard and somebody calling you. Sign calls are awesome. We all want them, right? But that's hoping somebody calls you. Putting out a post. Hey, look at my open house coming up. That is putting it out there into the universe, hoping somebody sees it and hoping that they come to your open house. Passive prospecting is a lot of hoping and wishing that somebody responds to something that you do. It does not devalue passive prospecting, but it is something we do not allow to be one of our pillars of success when we're setting our goals.
All right, events and open houses. Obviously, everybody knows what an open house is. We typically run a very aggressive open house schedule. If a house goes live on Thursday, we're usually running open houses Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. If it's in a really hot area, we'll have agents go back to back. We'll run like a 12 to 6, and somebody will sit there from 12 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 6. Everybody runs a rotation. Everybody gets a turn type of thing. Keep it open. When it comes to events, our team is very, very event heavy. There's a lot of different things that we do, from gigantic events to tiny events. Some of the biggest events we do our birthday party every year that our team's anniversary. We turned 5 this year. Whoop. And we have typically 350 to 500 people that show up to that. It's a big event for us, very expensive. So it's not for everybody, but that's a very important one for us. We do a Mother's Day. We bought $2 pots and had kids fill them up with paints, or they painted them for their parents or for their moms, filled them up with dirt, put a little seed in it. Brought it home. That was Mama's Mother's Day.
Or about 30 seeds in it, and it overgrows. Yeah. Right, Scott? Yeah.
I mean, that was a great event. We did Father's Day. We did burgers and bacon, because who doesn't love burgers and bacon as a dad? Or anybody loves burgers and bacon. But and then we do things like pop buys. On Christmas, we went to Costco and bought every piece of wrapping paper that they had. Thank you, Jory.
Thank you, Jory.
And a roll of tape, and put it together and dropped it off at all of our past clients' houses. There's no better way to get them to pop up and say hi to you than stopping at their house and dropping off wrapping paper. Or Halloween, we've done lantern cutting, knives, and around Valentine's Day we've done treats and things like that. Just easy ways to stop by people's houses. If they're not home, you drop it on the doorstep and off you go. And they'll still reach out to you, say thank you. Sometimes they'll post it on Facebook and say thank you to you for that. And that's a good way to get your name passively onto Facebook by somebody else. So events are huge. We're very event driven.
And then mailers. We talked about mailers. Yes, we do send out mailers to an area that we're farming, but it's not very aggressive. It's a very light touch point. Anybody who says if you want to do a heavy farming mailing campaign, you should be hitting them every 2 to 3 weeks for the first 6 months. Then after that, every month for the rest of your life. We'll send pieces out every now and then to areas that we're already active in. That's just a little addition to the calls, the handwritten notes, and the door hangers.
Social media is where I'm probably going to shut up and let Will talk, because he does it a lot better than I do. And we dove into mine once upon a time, and I'm going to let him talk.
So social media is a form of passive. And I think we actually break these on. So events and open houses, here we go. Just be productive. And let's actually, why don't you talk about the difference of how to run an open house real quick?
Yeah, actually, we went through that earlier today.
Yeah.
So when Kayla and I first started doing a real estate business, we were at a different, what do we work at? Thank you so much. We had a different brokerage, and our open house strategy was very aggressive. It was very different than what we do today. We were very hard on making people sign in. How do we make you sign in? We got forms to fill out. Do we have apps that go right into our CRM? How do we do this? You get a lot of fake emails, a lot of fake phone numbers, a lot of fake names doing that. And people just generally don't like feeling like you're bugging them. Hey, welcome in. Please sign in before you look around my house. And it's kind of gross when you sit back and kind of think about it.
And if you do that, it's totally okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shame on me.
Yeah.
Shame on me.
Rude.
But it wasn't until we kind of switched our theory around, and Kayla did it a lot better than I did. We just kind of came from value. We welcome into the house. We're there. We're hanging out. We're listening to music. Enjoy the house. Take a look around. By the way, hey, our team does X, Y, and Z to provide value to our clients. Here's a card. Love to talk to you. Give me a call if you need me.
I always say when we're doing an open house, I always greet you at the door. Be like, hey, welcome to the open house, 4-bedroom, 4-bathroom, $400,000. And you don't need me to follow you around and be like, and this is a kitchen, do you? No, you got that part? Okay, cool. So I'm going to be hanging out here listening to music. If you have any questions, let me know. And, I'm really sorry. The kids' room is neon green. They love neon green. I couldn't get them to paint it, so it is what it is. Have fun looking around the house. So that's the approach we take to it. And I tend to try and make jokes about things, and I'll say, right as they're getting ready to leave, and just, here's my sales pitch. We ain't that bad. And then Sarah will be like, we ain't that. That's not even proper English, but it's cool, So we really took a really scaled back approach to how we approach people in open houses. And when we started in real estate, we did 3 to 6 open houses a weekend, and did it for 2.5, 3 years. And after that, we looked back. We were able to see for every 3 open houses we did, we had 1 signed contract. So that's the way that works for us, and it worked pretty well.
Not to move on yet. A couple other cool strategies we've done in the past with open houses. If you work on a team, or if you don't work on a team and you want to find somebody else to do this with you, we found neighborhoods that have 3-4 homes on the market at the same time, and we'll run an open house at all 4 of them, and we'll do a block party type of event, and just kind of make it more fun than just here's one open house. Or Will's done things, which you can talk deeper on, where there's 3 houses in the neighborhood. Well, he schedules showings on those houses just in case somebody might want to see them. So, hey, you don't like this house? It doesn't fit your needs. It needs a 5th bedroom. I get it. Actually, down the street, there's a house in the same neighborhood. If you like the neighborhood with 5 bedrooms in it, it might be more of a better fit for you. I've actually got a showing scheduled in at 2:15. I'll be out of here at 2. Love to meet you over there. Now all of a sudden you're on a buyer's tour with somebody just right off the bat.
Very effective way to do it. And plus, it just shows you really know the neighborhood. Go ahead. So the question was, what other invites do we have at open houses to invite people to work with us? So once again, we don't have, it's a very conversational approach. Now, it is scripted. There are certain questions I'm going to ask somebody every single time. What brought you in today? Did you see my signs? Did they work? Because they're gonna be like, no, I didn't see your signs, idiot. I saw it on Zillow. So I just whatever it is to get them to talking. And then if one person's talking and the other person's not, I'm really gonna focus on the person that's not talking, to be quite honest, because I want to get them talking. The person who's talking is gonna be Jake. He's not making the decisions. The person who's not talking is Kayla, and she's the one I want to know what brought you in today. So it's a very conversational approach, and it's very scripted, and so no, there's not specific asks.
The idea is to get them to work with you as a human being and connect with them somehow on a human level. I see you're wearing a shirt that I like, or whatever team your hat is, or I'm a sports guy, so I'm going to talk about that with you, or anything. Oh, yeah, anything along the lines of how do I connect with you? And then somehow tying at one point back into, since we're on a team, we run a team, how does our team benefit working with an individual? There's multiple people that can have your back. We've got, marketing folks, we got director of sales, we've got, we've got our listing concierges, we got all kinds of different things that we work with as a team that we just tell them about our value props. And that's a little bit of what we do, but we really try to focus on connecting as a human being and getting like us as humans. You had a question. 100%.
Yes. Absolutely. Basically, she just said you're also interviewing to be their listing agent when you're at an open house, because you're showing how you are selling this home with the intent of impressing them enough to be like, if this gal can sell this home, she can definitely sell my home.
And the line that I use all the time is I try to be very professionally unprofessional. So be professional at the same time, but be myself and be who I am at the same time. And hopefully it all works out together. And sometimes it does, and sometimes it doesn't. Go ahead.
We do not. Nope. We've just definitely just moved away from that. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just not our style. I'm not the sign-in type. I don't like to sign in. So I project that onto other people, whether it's the right thing or not. I know people who run very successful open houses with sign-ins. That's just not our style. So it's not the wrong thing. It's just not what we do. All right, let's keep going here. Oh, we're kind of behind. So some of the mailers we do, handwritten note cards, postcards, flyers, event invites, circle prospecting, and call follow-up, holiday cards. Let me social media here. So this is where we go back to this. So we're talking about mailers here. So on social media, I can talk about this for quite a long time. I just want to be respectful of everybody's time here. So we'll wrap it up in the next 8 to 10 minutes. When we're talking about social media, we just want to make sure that you're consistent. Now, social media is a passive form of prospecting most of the time. Whatever messaging you're putting out there, make sure it's consistent. And one thing that we tell the team is left or right, up or down, puppies or kittens. That's what we want to talk. We don't want to talk about anything.
No, we want to talk about puppies and kittens.
We don't want to be too far left. We don't want to be too far right. We don't want to be too far up, too far down. This is how we approach social media. Reason being is I am the firm believer in the race to 5,000. If you have a social media and you're in business, I truly believe that you need to realize that it is no longer yours. It is an extension of your business. And if I have 5,000 people on my social media, that is 5,000 people I have a direct link to where I can go to my phone, go to Messenger, and I can call them. I don't even need their phone number anymore. The greatest way to achieve that is to not be polarizing. Now, I have some friends that I've known for a very long time, and they are one way or the other. That's fine. They can be that way. But for me and for the extension of my business, it is very PG-13 or less. And it is very neutral. When there's somebody that you want to be into your universe, what you can do is do a little bit more of a deep dive on them. So say if Jake I noticed Jake says, hey, we're looking to possibly sell our home. So instead of just going on there and saying, oh, Jake, I am the best real estate agent in the world. You should totally work with me.
You're not. I am.
Very not true. What I would do at that point is, yes, I'm going to send a direct message. I'm probably going to comment on the post. I'm also going to send a DM. And on that DM, I'm probably going to do a video. But before I send that video, what I'm going to do might make some people uncomfortable, but this is very effective, is I'm going to scroll back for a month or two onto Jake's profile, and I'm going to see what he's been doing. And I'm going to see, oh, man, this guy goes to the Vikings games every Sunday. So when I'm sending that video, because I've dived a little deep into his profile, I'm going to say, hey, Jake, William here. I would love to work with you on buying your next home. By the way, it's super crappy that, what's his name? Kirk Cousins got COVID. Dang the Packers. It was a horrible loss. Love to talk to you. Have a great day. I'm asking for the business. I'm being personal, and I'm actually relating to him immediately. On social media, also keep current, pay attention to what's trending. There's now this.
That's a tough one right now.
It is very tough right now. So I talk a lot about Facebook, and Facebook, what's trending is lots of puppies and kittens and photos and stuff like that. If you're on other things like Instagram and TikTok, there's a way to search hashtags, and we can talk more about. Actually, I'd defer you to Heather to talk more about that. But if you are going to post something on your social media, make sure it is relevant to what is going on in the current market. All right, when you're using social media for a prospecting platform, what you want to do is you want to get to know somebody, and the ultimate goal is to take it off digital into real life. So when you're asking questions, so say if somebody posts like, I just got a new job today, I'm so excited. Everybody's going to post, congratulations, yay, the heart symbols. And you're going to be the one who says, where'd you get the job? What are you doing? Where's it at? Do you have to commute? Do you get to work from home? You're going to be asking questions that are actually relevant to what's being posted. And these questions are actually going to be warranting a response, because they're like, oh my gosh, yeah, actually I got my dream job at this place. Fantastic. When do you start? Does that make sense? So versus just saying congratulations, if you want to use social media for an actual tool for prospecting, make sure you're diving deep into whatever is being posted, and just don't be that surface level response that everybody else is giving. And this is a great one right here. Now this is anybody listening to this and here right now, this is one that you can do immediately and you're going to love it. Somebody says, I need a plumber. What do we do? I've got the greatest plumber in the world. Here's their number. And you might even have that person's cell phone number, and you might text them the contact. Take it to the next level and say, you know what? I'm actually going to put us on a group text. So I'm going to text the three of us together and say, here's Jake, here's my plumber. He is fantastic. Go ahead and reach out to him directly. I just took away every obstacle that you have now to talk to my plumber, and I just made it as easy as possible for you, all as well by supporting a vendor of mine. This is the easiest thing that you can do to immediately impact your sphere of influence on social media and your vendor list. Make sense? All right.
It also kind of makes you feel good taking care of people that way. I love that.
Yeah, that guy, he sure does.
Throwing my emotions again.
Add value.
Just throw them out there.
Do you have a question? Oh, all right. All right, so I've kind of been talking about this a little bit here. If you truly want to, I'm going to go through this a little quick because I've been talking about it for the last few minutes. If you truly want to use social media as a pillar for prospecting and generating business, this is not a 5 or 10 minute a day type thing. This is something where you truly time block it, you put it into your schedule, and you are going to spend 2 to 3 hours a day, several days a week, deep diving into what other people are doing. If you want them to show up for you, you need to show up for them. So this is what I did when I first got into real estate. Yes, I did a bunch of open houses, and I would take Sarah, I'd drop her off at work at 7 a.m. I'd be at the office in Maple Grove by 7:30, and I would start hitting people up on social media from 8 until 6. 9 hours, that's all I did, nonstop for months. I didn't know what else to do. I was showing up in people's lives and offering value and saying, hey, I can help with that. I can help with that. I can help with this. And that is a fantastic way to build a business. Now, you can continue to do what you're doing and doing it 10, 15 minutes a day, or if you're a serious thumb scroller, an hour, but are you actually doing anything to bring value to your business? Or are you just doing it because you enjoy it? And if you are, that's fine.
Then make that a separate time.
Make 100%. Once again, when you respond, don't have the generic responses. Ask questions that warrant a response from them. Treat sensitive topics with care. Now, if you don't really care about somebody, this next one might not be for you. And that's okay. If you don't want to be a part of their universe and you don't want them a part of your universe, that is fine. If you want to keep them at social media's length, arm's length, totally fine. But say you have a friend from high school that you haven't seen in, well, some of us less than others, and they post something like, my grandma passed away. You can say prayers or whatever you want in the social media post, and please do so if you feel driven to. You can take it the next level. You can send them a direct message and give them your condolences. Or if you really want them to be, and this is kind of like a way to reconnect on a personal level, but it is also a way to build your sphere, is you can actually call them and have a conversation with them and just say, hey, I know we haven't spoken in a long time. I just want to say I'm really sorry to hear about your loss. Now, back to the 7 levels of communication. It's the best way to have a conversation with somebody is in person, then the next is a phone call. But if you truly don't care, don't have that conversation. And ask a question that people will respond to. I already said that. And here, I call it friendly stalking. It's like I said, it's spending a lot of time diving into people's profiles and seeing what they're interested in. Say if I noticed that you had posted that you're looking to find a new place to rent, and we haven't talked in a long time. And I'm like, oh man, I just don't know what to do here. So I might scroll through, and if I see that maybe you donated to a animal shelter. A way for me to break the ice is shoot you a DM, say, hey, I noticed you're looking to rent. I'd love to be a resource for that. By the way, I noticed that you donated a few months back to this animal shelter. I've been meaning to ask you about it. What's your connection with that place? Now, you genuinely want to know the answer to that. Otherwise, don't ask the question. But that is how you can use social media to have a conversation with somebody and learn more about somebody. And once again, bring people into your sphere of influence.
You can make that fun, too. You actually told me a story earlier today about going back on somebody's profile and commenting on their very first profile picture they ever put up. Like, that probably made that person's day, that somebody went back and made a random comment and a random photo from probably 6 years ago when they first started it. And all of a sudden, everybody who ever commented to begin with got a notification, and now everybody's having a little fun and having some conversation. So it doesn't have to be serious.
No, and I did that with guys. I didn't any females maybe I hadn't talked to in a while. I did not go to their first profile picture ever and be like, "Hey, how are you?" Not
I see that stare from your wife over there.
Yeah, and do not do that outside of business hours. These tactics, do not do them at 2 a.m, please, for the love of Pete. But I would go back to some friends that I hadn't seen in a while. I'd go back to the very first profile on social media and I would comment on it, be like, hey, just being a weirdo, looking at your first profile pic ever, looking good, whatever. And it was a great way to start a conversation. And this is in lieu of, we all know when you start talking to somebody, real estate will eventually come up, right? So instead of making those cold calls or those circle prospecting calls because you just don't have it in you right now and you're working up to it, this is a warm conversation that you can have with somebody and they're going to ask you, what are you up to? Well, I'm in real estate now. And now you can have a conversation about it. They might say, hey, my aunt's in the business. That's awesome. Who's your aunt? I love connecting with other fantastic agents. And they might say, I've been thinking about buying for the longest time. Great. Let's grab a coffee. It's on you. Something like that. Birthdays, you guys were all slacking on this. Most of us are slacking on this. Sarah is really good at having us call somebody and sing them happy birthday on their birthday. Record a video and send it to them. For the love of Pete, don't just comment on their Facebook wall. They're not going to see it. My Uncle Scott's one of the few people that actually calls me on my birthday still. Excuse me. So that's really cool. So that means a lot to me. I talked to my Uncle Scott quite a bit, but it stuck out. I'm like, birthdays, he's like one of the only people that calls me on my birthday. So if you have somebody that you want to have in your world, call them on their birthday. Don't shoot them a text. Call them. You're going to be one of the very few people that actually call them on their birthday. Or the cameo. Sarah, my wife, she on my birthday, she ordered me a cameo for my birthday. I could cry right now thinking about it. It was one of the most, yeah, don't cry. It was one of the coolest things on the planet. And a cameo is where you can hire a celebrity or somebody like that to record a message and you can send it to them. So if you have an A-list client and they love football, you can find Jared Allen, and Jared Allen can go on there and record a cameo and wish them happy birthday or congratulations on your new home purchase. Talk about stepping up your game. Boom, that is huge. All right, we got to keep going here. All right, finding sphere. When you find this top one right here, I'll explain, and the rest of them are kind of pretty easy. When I find somebody that I want to be a part of my sphere, I'm kind of aggressive with it. I'm like, we are now friends. And they're like, ha, 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 ha. And I'm like, nope, we're friends. And I inject myself into their lives. I've done this with people that I've met at conventions, that I've seen on stages, and I'm just like, I want to know more what you know. So I just become their friend, whether they know it or not. One of the ways I've done that is through Keith Roy. If you're watching, you're definitely one of them. He's probably watching. And this is definitely one of the way I did it through social media, through getting to know them, and actually realizing if it's somebody I wanted to be friends with or not. Now he's a good referral partner. So what is the goal of all this? Go ahead, Jake.
Actually, one thing we didn't touch on social media when it comes to posting and things like that, sometimes you go to people's pages who are real estate agents, and the only thing that you see on their page is real estate posts. Look at this house, look at that house, I just sold this, I just sold that. But you look at it and you don't have a freaking clue who that person actually is as a human being, besides them being a real estate agent. So make sure your social media has you on it and who you are as a person. You know, one thing that you told me is, like, you go to the football games every Sunday. Why aren't you posting that every Sunday? It's not just about real estate. Who are you? Post some stuff about you and what you're doing and where you're at and out in the communities, and people will start talking. They don't care about how impressive your resume is on selling houses.
Absolutely true. Feel free to go to my Facebook page, and you're going to see it's a lot of my dogs. It's a lot of very rarely am I talking about real estate. Go ahead. Get Google. TikTok was visited more than Google this year.
There's a lot of kids out there that don't know what Google is yet, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say there are kids on TikTok, and I'm one of them.
Yeah, you're one of them.
Oh, wow. That's really cool. So, yeah, having that social media presence is extremely important, and hopefully we've brought some light on how to use it in a proper way. The whole gamut of this is to take somebody from a hybrid farming area, from a circle prospecting area, from a FISBO, from Facebook, from social media, and the goal is to have a real life in-person conversation with them. So everything you should be doing in real estate should be geared towards that. So here's the systems that we use. I'll cover these quickly. Follow Up Boss, Sisu, Canva, Eventbrite, Fiverr's a lot, Adobe. So Remind right here on the right, Remind, RedX, and White Pages. Those are the three that we use significantly to do a lot of data scrubbing and to make sure our database is as up to date as possible.
We talked about pop buys. Hit Lolo for them real quick. What's Lolo?
Oh, Lolo, you guys. Our brokerage is Remax Results, and they offer it for us. Otherwise, you can. I do believe they offer it as well out there. You pick some people, and you have to have a minimum of 20 people, I think it is. And every month, they're going to send them a very small item of value. Costs you less than $2 per person, and they're going to get a $5 coupon to a local coupon to a local place. And it tells you when they open it, and it tells you when they redeem it. It is the most fantastic $2 I could ever spend per month on anybody. It is awesome. All right, and this is here we are. A lot of us are here today, so if you have any questions, we'll answer them now. Otherwise, we'll hang out, grab some more tacos, grab some beer, and we're good to go. What's the last one here? Oh, thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Yay!
Also, if anybody wants Will to go through their personal Facebook page and deep dive in it and tell you where you're succeeding and where you could use some items of value,
yeah, my pleasure.
He's happy to do that.
All right.
And that's it.
All right, we're done. All right, bye. What's called? Oh, yeah, for next month, you guys, if you want to do this again next month, well, we're going to be here anyways. So if you guys want to show up, you totally can. It'll be on our Facebook page, and we'll also email it out to everybody. So.
And again, Sarah, who was that we're having next month? Chris.
It'll be awesome.
I can't wait personally.
MN Golden Girl on Instagram. Cool. All right. Now we're done. I swear. All right. Bye.
Were there any questions at the end that you didn't? I like hearing my voice over the loudspeaker.